Welcome to CUTV News Radio, where our hosts Doug Llewellyn and Jim Masters talk to today's top thinkers from all around the world to bring you information, inspiration, and thought-provoking ideas that you can put to use in your personal or professional life right now. Covering a broad range of topics, we dig deep to discover what makes today's top thinkers tick. CUTV News Radio. It's the show where ideas matter. And now, here's today's host, Doug Llewellyn.
Well, hi, everybody. We welcome you back to CUTV News Radio today. Hey, we're excited. Paula Vail is back with us. We've talked with her in the past. She's been a guest on CUTV numerous times. She's a fabulous, fabulous lady. You know, she's the founder and the owner of Wellness Inspired. She's the TV radio host of the show called Choices, Finding Your Joy. She's also the co-author of a book called America's Leading Ladies Who Positively Impact Our World. And, you know, she's in that list along with people like Melinda Gates and Oprah Winfrey and others. She is an exceptional Reiki Master teacher. And I like to explore some other areas with her. She's an avid animal advocate. She's a motivational speaker. And she has a brand new book that she's going to be talking to us about with a fabulous title. Why Am I So Happy? What a great title for the book. Why am I so happy? That's the kind of book you just have to buy because you want to know, why is this lady so happy and why can't I be as happy as she is? Maybe you can be, and that's what the book is all about. It gives you a lesson on why you can be happy. Let me tell you a little bit about Paula if you haven't heard her before. Before she started her practice called Wellness Inspired, back in 2007, 2008, around in that area, she owned and operated a restaurant for over 27 years. And when her beloved dog Shotzy, got ill, Paula decided to learn all about Reiki, and she discovered its amazing, life-changing effects. She points out Reiki works with our life force energy to remove harmful blockages, and it allows clearing and balancing within your body. It helps you physically and emotionally, and it is literally life-changing for both humans and animals. You know, I did not know that, and I've talked to people who practice Reiki before, but I never had it put that way. I didn't know it could be so strong and so powerful. Anyway, Paula says she is so impassioned by the power of Reiki, it will always be a part of her life's work and her mission, and she teaches other people all about Reiki. She helps them with it. Her book, Why I Am So Happy, I'm not going to tell you about it. It's slated to come out in about 6 weeks from now, maybe a little bit longer. In October, I think, is when it's coming out. And she's also going to be featured in an upcoming documentary called Imagine a World, based on the quote, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." She is one busy lady, and she's taking time out of her schedule to be with us today. So let's welcome her back to our microphone. Say, Paula Vail, who lives, by the way, in Lakewood, Washington. She's out in that gorgeous area of the Northwest near Tacoma. Paula, welcome. Nice to have you back. How are you?
Oh, hi. Thank you so much. I'm just so honored to be your guest again. Thank you so much. Well,
we're honored to have you. Look, it's equal. We're honored to have you back with us today. You know, I just mentioned something, and it all dawned on me when I said that when your beloved dog got ill, that's when you decided to learn Reiki. Why did you do that? What was it about your pet's illness that made you want to learn Reiki?
Well, I was actually, desperate to help her. I loved her so much. She owned my heart. She was ill. She had had surgery. She could barely walk. And someone said to me, you should learn Reiki and give her Reiki. I had never heard of it. I learned Reiki. I fell in love with it. I had her for 2 more years. It helped her so much. And I just fell in love with Reiki and journeyed on and became a Reiki Master teacher. I received my master training in Machu Picchu, Peru, and what I have seen over the years has been just amazing.
You went to Machu Picchu to get your...
Yes.
Oh, wow. Good for you. Well, you got to tell me then what you did with Reiki, because honest to Pete, I don't know anything about this and the connection with animals. What did you do to help her, your pet?
Basically, when you learn Reiki, your Reiki is, quote, activated with ancient symbols, and this kind of opens a door. I kind of call it a prayer modality as well. You know, you're putting out there, you're connecting with God, source, whatever you want to call it, and you open that up. And it's also very scientific, our energy field. It works with our energy field. And we are able to have energy come through us to the client, to the pet, the animal, to a plant. And it does so many things. Like for a human or an animal, it boosts your immune system. And they have done studies that prove that. So it can boost your immune system. It can help you physically. It can help you with pain. It can help you emotionally with trauma. Oh my gosh, what it does when we're going through trauma, or you have a rescue pet that's had trauma. So it helps us in so many ways. It raises our intuition. And that's something I hear from so many students is, oh my gosh, my intuition. And it is life-changing. You were right, Paula. I mean, it does so many things, and really it goes where needed. It knows what our body needs, and it just helps remove blockages and imbalance and raises us to where we can heal ourselves.
Well, tell me specifically what you do. You know, I'm looking at your website, and you have a full explanation of Reiki on your website, and there's a picture of you there giving Reiki to a goat at the Puget Sound Goat Rescue. But tell me, what do you actually, are you massaging the animal? Were you massaging your pet, the one that you helped, to last another 2 years, which is great? Physically, what do you do? That's what I want to learn more about.
It's just a light touch. So your hand can be very lightly touching the person or the pet, or especially with wild animals. I've given Reiki to deer and had them lay down in the yard in my property in Centralia, Washington, or giraffes when I was on a safari on a mission trip to Africa last year. I mean, they'll just stop and take that in energetically and feel it. So we can be hands-on, or we can step back, and we can also send Reiki long distance. That's powerful as well. So there is a lot to it. There really is.
I'm intrigued to know when you know an animal, and I'm focusing on animals really here, when they need this kind of help. You knew your puppy dog was not doing well, and so you learned Reiki and gave it. You treated your pet with Reiki. So you massaged your pet. Is that what you're saying you did primarily? It's the way you massage?
I wouldn't say massage, because really my hands are still. My hands aren't moving. They're just, the Reiki comes through our palm chakras, through our hands, through our eyes, through our breath. So I'm also blowing. I'm also sending Reiki with my eyes. And let me give you an example of a client that began coming to me this year. She's come several times now, and she contacted me because she had a rescue dog that was always anxious and had been traumatized, and someone said maybe Reiki would help. And the first time this dog came, she was anxious. She was just, going all around my office and this, and then I just, from a few feet away, started sending her Reiki. She literally came and laid down and let me offer her the Reiki for the entire session. And now the dog has come several times, and the owner is seeing a difference in her behavior and her anxiety. So animals really feel it. And it is kind of funny, especially, I've had dogs, cats, chickens come. You can start giving Reiki to an animal, and they may look at you like, really? You can do that?
Give it to a chicken. That's pretty. You're getting me interested here because I'm a great pet lover. Normally I'm in a studio. There's a puppy dog at my feet normally. I would like to make sure I can help her, if she ever needs it. But the thing is, I have to learn to do it. And that's another question. How hard is it to learn Reiki and to be able to pass it on to your pet or to another person?
It's very easy to learn, and I teach locally. I've had people come from as far as other countries to take Reiki classes from me. I do
Are you
retreats.
serious?
Yes,
Other
I
countries
am.
they come to? Wow.
Yes, Australia, Japan, and I'm doing a retreat teaching Reiki in Sedona next month. In October, I'm teaching Reiki at a retreat in Oregon, the state of Oregon. So I do travel and teach in other areas. But yeah, it is. It's very easy to learn. It's actually the best description. It's very powerful, but yet very simple.
Well, boy, you got me hooked. You got me really interested here, and I don't know what the dickens we're talking about, you know, in any event. You are a Reiki Master. You've learned that. And is this what you do? Wellness Inspired, of course, is your practice in the Tacoma area. And as you say, people come from really all over the world to see you. How do they find out about you? Is it the internet and they hear, read about you?
A lot of it is the internet, but a lot of it, I was just chatting with someone about this. They were saying, where do you get your clients? Where do you get your students? And really, it's mostly word of mouth. It's just people tell other people about me. And for example, a beautiful woman that came from Australia to take a class. She had been given my information. She was going through an illness, and I sent her long-distance Reiki, and she improved so much. And then she wanted to learn the Reiki as well, to be able to give herself Reiki. So she came to Tacoma to learn Reiki.
Wow. I'm amazed at all this, but that's okay. I get amazed a lot, but I find it really fascinating, and I'm sure there are people who are listening. I hear your puppy dog outside barking who wants more Reiki today.
I'm sorry. I put him outside.
Oh, he's upset
That's
with
our
you.
background.
So what else do you do? What else does Wellness Inspired do? Is it all wrapped around Reiki, or do you have other modalities you'd use to help people?
I also have a TV radio show called Choices, Finding Your Joy. And so I interview a lot of really inspirational, amazing guests. I've been doing radio. I began radio about 5 years ago and just fell in love with it, and then branched out to TV as well. So I love doing that. And then my book, which is been just released on Amazon for pre-order, The Why Am I So Happy, has been a really great project. So I'm really happy to have that out there. So, and I mentor Reiki practitioners, and I do a lot with animals. I'm a big animal advocate. So I do quite a few different things. It keeps me busy, but I love busy.
Do you miss the restaurant business?
Yes, I do. I
can say no.
Yeah,
you do.
No, I don't. I was just actually a client of mine took me to dinner in Seattle last night, and we were chatting, and I told her, what it means to me when I sit at a table in a restaurant, enjoy the great food, the great service. It's such memories for me, and I do miss it. I loved my customers. I loved my employees. It was a big part of my life.
Okay. Let me ask you a quick question. This is a technical question. You're moving around with your phone a little bit. There's a little bit of interference on the line, and I assume it's a handheld phone. Try and stay still.
Okay.
Stay where you are.
You got it.
Now, that's a good spot where you are right now. What I was going to ask you is to give me an example of a success story with one of your clients using Reiki, about how it helped them and what it did for them. Because I know you have a bunch of them, but give me an example, okay?
Here's an example. I have a beautiful client that started coming to me a couple years ago. She has a traumatic brain injury due to being hit by a car while walking. And she comes and gets a 90-minute session, and she has told me how much it does for her. And something that really touched me was that one of her biggest issues is not being able to sleep at night. Well, when she comes for Reiki, she's able to fall asleep. And so I always have her my last appointment of the day. And when she falls asleep, I just finish the session and I sit and I let her rest. But she's just so grateful that this relaxes her so much and helps her with pain and focus. And there's just so many stories I have from over the years, Doug.
Is it what are the primary reasons that bring people to you for Reiki? What are their main complaints?
I have people that have gone through trauma, emotional issues, people with illnesses or injuries. For example, a man that came to me, he had lost an arm in a motorcycle accident, and he had that, the pain, like his arm was there, phantom pain, I think it's called, and it helped him immensely. So it's for all different physical issues as well as just emotional. And then some people come to me just because it's such a huge boost to our immune system and our body and our emotions. It's like their Reiki vitamin boost. So I have a lot of regular customers that just have come for years for that, preventing illness and stress and that type of thing.
And how long does a typical session last with you? Does it be like an hour?
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, we just have to learn more about this thing called Reiki, no question about it. You've been doing this now for a good... Do you do it on yourself, by the way? Can you teach people to do Reiki on themselves?
Yes. And a lot of my students do learn it to give themselves Reiki or give family members Reiki. And it really changes their lives. It helps them so much. And, it could be the spouse of someone with an injury learning it to give their spouse Reiki. So people come for a lot of different reasons.
Okie dokes. Well, now we're learning about Reiki. All right, tell me about this book that you've written, Why Are You So Happy? And let me ask you, point blank, why are you so happy? You can't be this happy all the time, are you?
Well, I'm not. I am human. I'm not happy 100% of the time, but I am happy. And the reason I named it that, Doug, is because that's what I've been asked my whole life. Because I'd have a smile on my face. I would hear a song I like, and I'd just start dancing. Or, I love doing for others. And with the book, I share a lot of personal challenges, things I went through, and the perspectives that those challenges and those traumas, the perspectives they gave me. And they made me realize, happiness is a choice. Am I going to be mad, angry the rest of my life, or am I going to be grateful? Am I going to realize today is a new day? Today is a new me. And what do I want that day to be? So I really talk about perspectives, happiness triggers, things that can hinder, our happiness or block us. So it really is a widespread variety of just tips, tools, perspectives that I personally have gained due to challenges that I've had in my lifetime.
Well, I think that's very, very interesting to hear about, and I'm interested to know if it was difficult for you to write this book. I know you contributed to a book called America's Leading Ladies. You're one of the ones focused in that book, including, there's Oprah and other very well-known ladies. What's the difference between what you did in that book and this one about Why Am I So Happy? What do you explain?
Well, actually, the article in the America's Leading Ladies book is, I pertained it to my book. I was in the process of writing my book when I was contacted and asked to be in this book. So I kind of themed the article to the theme of my book, just kind of to give you a little bit of a, teaser of the kind of things you're going to read in my book.
Right. Okay. All right. So the book is going to be coming out, as we know, in October. Was it hard to write, Beth? When you sat down to... You've never written a book before, really written a book, have you?
No, I hadn't. And yeah, there were times that it was difficult because I shared things, you know, happening in my life. My husband passing away, my brother being bullied in school. I remember one thing I shared was in high school what happened when this, quote, popular boy asked me on a date and how he treated me and what happened, the perspective that gave me for the rest of my life. And so it was a little difficult to share personal things, but I wanted to share those things because I know everyone has challenges that they have to face in life. We all do. But we can be happy. We can move forward. And so really that was the goal of writing the book.
All right, I'm going to ask you to keep that phone still. Are you near a computer where you're sitting right now?
I'm not.
Okay, because that may be one of the reasons I'm hearing the little bit of interference on the line from your phone. That's okay. It's not that bad, but you know we can always make it better. It would be good. So you were able to do it without a lot of delay. How long did it take you to write the book, to finish it, from start to finish?
I'd say about a year and a half.
Well, I hear that story all the time from authors. It's not a quick deal. You can't sit down and write a book and get it out in 3 or 4 weeks, can you? I mean, it's kind of tough to do that.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we're on the lookout for that now. Your book, Why Am I So Happy? And I guess the real bottom line is, what do you hope people will take away from the book when they read it?
I hope they take away that they are the ones in control of their thoughts, and they're the ones in control of their happiness, no one else, and no one can take that from them. And they can have happiness, and you know, that's something to celebrate, that they have that power and that control. And I want them to take away and know that they're cared about and they're loved.
That's very important. I want to point out you were named one of the 2019 Empowered Women of the Year by the International Association of Top Professionals. That's a very nice honor to have, so congratulations. It's pointed out on your website, but it's, you know, we all have heard about that before, so really, congratulations, Paula.
Thank
Good for you
so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to the award gala in December.
And where will that be, do you know?
It will be the weekend of December 6th.
I mean,
I
where?
will be in
what
Vegas.
City? Oh, in Las
in
Vegas.
Vegas.
Oh, that's
Las
cool.
Vegas,
Good for
yes.
you. Okay, good for you. To get back to other things you do, your radio show, you talk about that a lot. Tell me about it, and how does one get to hear it? Where does it air?
It airs on AM radio in Seattle, KKNW, and AM radio in Palm Springs, KMET, and then it's on 5D TV, Binge Networks TV, and YouTube.
And what happens on the show? What do you do? People call in, you talk to them?
No, basically I interview my guest of the week, and so I do interview a wide variety of guests. I've interviewed from everyday people, actors, actresses, film directors, authors, practitioners, doctors, wide variety, animal activates. So really a big variety, and I just love it.
And what are you interviewing them about? Obviously, would it be their life or what they do, or do you have a different twist on your radio show of how you treat a guest and why you have them there? What's the goal?
The goal is to share them with everyone and to have them be able to express why they do what they do and share how they discovered their passion and the joy they have in doing their passion. and what they do for others. There's been so many interviews where I've actually teared up. I've been so touched.
Well, I can understand that, and I can appreciate that because I've done that myself with a lot of guests. So it's understandable and good for you. It means you care. You have compassion for them. For people who aren't familiar with you, but I want to point out you have this great website called, to get in touch with you and learn about what you do. It's called wellnessinspired.com. Wellnessinspired.com. So people can go. Can you teach Reiki or use your Reiki techniques with someone over the telephone, or do they have to be with you in person?
To learn Reiki, they would have to be with me in person for the attunement, but they can receive Reiki from me long distance. They don't have to be with me to receive Reiki.
And how does that happen? You can't touch them. You aren't massaging them or anything. How does it work that they get the benefit of Reiki over the telephone? Give me a little pointer on that.
Yeah, because long-distance Reiki goes beyond time and space. Literally, you just connect with source, totality, whatever you want to call it. You send that energy. We can send Reiki to the past, to a prior situation, to help with healing. We can send Reiki to the future, like I could send Reiki to a meeting I'm having tomorrow. It really is amazing and how powerful long-distance Reiki is.
It's kind of hard to understand how you can send it into the future. Like if you're going to be somewhere tomorrow, how that works. But I guess if you say it can be done, it can be done.
It's kind of like, if I have a particular appointment or someone does, I write that down on a piece of paper, and I envision that appointment at that time, and I send energy to that and surround that time and that appointment and just send beautiful energy to it.
Okay.
It's
and
pretty
it gets
interesting.
There. Yeah. It's not, look, it's more than interesting. It's freakish. It's really amazing, to tell you the honest truth.
In a way, it's like sending out a prayer. Yeah, I kind of see it as,
Okay, all right. I love you, Paula. You're great. One quick question. What's your number one key to your own happiness? You're so happy. What is the key to it? What do you say?
Gratitude. Let me give you an example. And by the way, I love you. Let me give you an example. My granddaughter, my 7-year-old granddaughter, a couple days ago, I have Grammy duty a couple days, and she said, when I get older and get a pet, my first pet, I'm going to name it Paula. I put that in what I call the priceless compliment category. You know, we get compliments, we get kind acts, things in our lives that as we go through life. And if we can take a moment now and then and think of one of those and remember those, oh my gosh, what that does for us in the happiness category. So I would say for me it's to be grateful and remember and cherish those special moments in my life.
Good for you. Great advice, Paula. Great advice. Well, we've gone through the half hour, so I want to thank you for being with us again. Bella will be back next week, same time. No, she'll be back on the 26th of August, 3 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, and we look forward to having you back, Paula. Thanks. It always is a joy to talk to you because I learned so much, and I am really intrigued by this subject of Reiki, which you know so well. So thanks. Okay, that's it for now, folks. I'm Doug Llewellyn. We'll see you next time. Till then, take care of yourself and have a great weekend. Bye for now.